Rocky 4, the director's cut. Now, we have been speaking about this movie quite a bit recently. I think there was a poster came out, first poster. Spoke about the whole cut in general, how it's very interesting that he's picked this one over the, what is it, 6 movies, the Rocky franchises, maybe, I don't know what the word is. 6 movies that has cumulatively, I can't even fucking speak tonight, cumulatively stretched out from, we have got 2 Creed movies, but I don't count them, they are Creed movies, not Rocky. Rocky 1 through to 5, and then the Rocky Balboa movie is 6. Why has he chosen this one? That was the sort of question we were pondering. I try to say cumulative, and cumulatively at this time at night is fucking brave for me. Speaking about bravery, that's brave. I can't even say that during the afternoon, let alone this time, knocking on the door of 12 AM. Needless to say, man, there is another, I like to say needless to say a lot, there is another poster out, and I'm just going to bring up the actual Twitter thing. It is Twitter, no, I'm ending the actual show with 2 poster topics, and it's not this one I brought up. This was on Instagram, so it's not the best website to look at, because they do not fucking scale their images. They are the same size. On the desktop you can't zoom in, and it's a pain in the arse. But it gets a theatrical release, I've said, and it also gets a new poster for said theatrical release. Look at that poster, man. As a guy who is a fan of posters, movie posters, and likes to buy the fancy ones that have kind of the matte finish, they don't shine when you've got lights in them, I want to get my hands on that poster, man. It's absolutely tremendous. You've got the 2 stars at the bottom, you've got the Soviet sort of sickle and hammer, and you've got these stars and stripes, which is just perfect for the actual movie itself, which is sort of the movie that everyone slags off for saying it ended the Cold War. It's America versus the Soviets. The Cold War. Yada yada. Ivan Drago, Rocky Balboa. I fucking liked this movie, man. I have to say, it wasn't the best of the Rocky movies by any stretch, but one of the better ones. Had one of the better sort of workout montages as well. Him and the Soviets, whatever the fuck it was, he was doing his training, the one-arm push-ups and the pull-ups, and just going out and running in the snow and stuff like that. It was a great movie, man. And look, the ending, it's just the typical Rocky ending. He gets the shit kicked out of him, but he has this inner spirit, never say die attitude, and he comes to the fore when it matters and beats the big Swede who's playing a Soviet. That's how Hollywood works. I'm going to be intrigued to see how this director's cut plays out, man. How they are going to fill in some elements. This is the true sort of vision. Speaking about Taika Waititi earlier, and how they interfere and they change the vision of the director, the time, and try to get it done and get it out. It impacts the vision they had, it impacts maybe the final cut. He's going back, 30 years later, and changing it and making his coherent vision a reality. And look, man, I tip my hat to him. He's a great director, he's a great writer, and he was a good actor, man, and a good action hero. I grew up watching this guy's movies as well, so I respect this guy tremendously, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings, and I love that fucking poster. And again, the fact that it is getting a November theatrical release, I think that just shows you, it is getting a November theatrical release, yeah, November. It just shows you how the industry, and Hollywood in general, is changing its views towards this pandemic. They must see that the end is in sight now for this as well, in terms of going to the cinema. If they are even having the balls to release this in the theatres, then it shows you how much we've came in the last year and a half, that things like this could come out, because you're delaying big $250 million blockbusters because they're terrified about reaction and people being scared to go to the theatres. They're releasing a director's cut in the theatres, and I would go and watch it, man. I would definitely go and watch this movie because I loved it. But look, we've got another couple of comments. Please read the other comment. What one's this? Doomcock is getting backlash from Pito because of the lies he's telling. He told the Star Wars fans. He spoke one load of shite. I switched off. I used to watch him. I used to watch Geeks and Gamers. It was Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and he started doing like joint videos with Doomcock, and I listened to the guy's crap, and I called it out right away. I says, this guy's an absolute bullshitter. I don't like the whole channel, the falseness around it, the sort of scared the cats wear the mask thing, and yeah, he does, he just tells lies, and I'm glad he's getting called out and people are actually going after him. It's good to hear. He deserves it. He's a CUNT, but we don't say that word on here. Have you seen people saying that Kathleen Kennedy, that to Kathleen Kennedy? I did. Have you seen people saying what to Kathleen Kennedy? What is this? I don't see any other comments along to what you're saying. What is it they've been saying to Kathleen Kennedy? I'm not sure. Oh, I've made my thoughts clear in Kathleen before in terms of Star Wars. I don't hate the woman. I think she's a great producer. But for me, they've made a balls of the sequel trilogy, and just Star Wars in general. The handling has not been great. And with Kathleen being the leader of Lucasfilm, and it's her job to sort of pick the directors and bring them in, she also made the mistake of bringing in Lord and Miller. Have I done that again? Yeah, Lord and Miller, Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I usually say the first name and the last name of one of them and combine it and make it look as though it's the two people. She also brought them in. She knew what they did. The sort of Jump Street, I think it was 22 and 23 Jump Street. I'm sure that was the name of them. She knew the style they had of being sort of humorous, off the cuff, sort of, what do you call it? It's not ad-libbing, it's the other name. Improvising, sort of improvisational directors. They do things in the hop, they change things up. She brought them in with that in mind, and then she changed her mind late into the production and sacked them. She wasn't happy with what they brought, and I thought that was just amateur for me. If you're the president of the studio, within a studio, and you are tasked with bringing in the directors, the people who are going to be working on the movie, you do your due diligence and make sure that those guys are exactly what you want for the movie. To cast them off 2-3 weeks before the production ends, that was fucking amateurish for me. And she's had real issues with other directors. The only one she didn't have was Ryan Johnson, of course, and obviously JJ as well. I think JJ had issues as well, though, with sort of, you had to go and do reshoots, so that's my one issue. The Star Wars stuff, I've got issues before with that, but as a producer, as a leader of Lucasfilm in general, I don't really care. She's a great producer, so I've got no issues with her working on Indiana Jones. I'm going to move on to the last